all about the right half of your brain. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, the right half of my brain, that's my emotional brain. It is not, because the right part and your left part of the brain both have a thinking part, and both have an emotional part, and both have an alarm system, the amygdala. Yes, and both have a hippocampus. In the previous episode, I spoke about the 4 characters based on Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, and we looked at the left part of the brain, the left thinking part of the brain, and the left emotional part of the brain, and that we can give these parts of our brain a name, and we should, because then it's easier to speak to them, and it's easier for them to directly speak to us and not through weird distractions and interventions which they might be causing. So my left thinking part is called Robert, and my left emotional part is called Rose. Robert and Rose. So we have 2 of the 4 characters. I'm curious to hear, what name did you give your first and second character? First is the left thinking, second is the left emotional. Now, let's look into character 3 and character 4. Character 3 is the right emotional part of your brain, and character 4 is the right thinking part of your brain. So let's look into these new characters. And you might notice I'm a little playful. I'm a little playful in this because character 3 is exactly that. Character 3 is our playful child running around the world and discovering and exploring, and it's curious and so lovely, and the sun is shining. Oh, there's a cloud. Oh, it's raining. Oh, a thunderstorm. I love thunderstorms. Snow, ice. Ooh, let's play. Let's go sleigh riding. Character 3 is in the moment. It's in the moment. It's in this moment, and it's grateful that this right now is. It's a happy, 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 clappy baby. This is your kid. This is your playful side. It's also creative, and it's very grateful to be alive. Isn't that lovely? My character 3, when I was in the deep pit of darkest brain disease, and now I specifically say I was in the deepest pit of darkest brain disease and not of darkest depression, because my depression was a result of brain disease. And all the measures I've done in the past years have been helping my brain to recover, but I haven't really I'm still having things which I am trying out, how to bring my brain into a better balance and how to nourish it better and how to provide it with better energy. So my journey isn't complete. And just as a cycle, when it's changing and, I'm bleeding a lot, and you do, maybe together with your gynecologist, you change your hormone therapy, that takes a long time till you're back in a balance and not bleeding crazily. Same with the brain. Just because I knew I had brain issues, I had brain inflammation, I was lacking energy in my brain and whatnot, it doesn't mean just knowing that changes it overnight, unfortunately. But a lot of things can be done, and one of the things is speaking to your 4 characters and having those 4 characters speak to each other, and that creates connections, new connections, better highways in our brain, which eventually can also lead to healthier brains. So this exercise is not just, it's such an interesting philosophical concept, and yeah, we have this character and that character, and now let's consciously put them into a conversation because it's a theory I've heard, and it's about a doctor who developed this theory, and she's a brain expert, and that's why I'm doing that. That's not the reason. That's not the reason. The real reason is to get neuroplasticity in our brain, to get these 4 characters into a joined play, and to understand how we are navigating through life, and to be more conscious and more decisive of who we want to be in a certain situation and who we want to be navigating our life. Is it our commander, character 1, like getting organized and things and thinking and success and the next house and the next thing, and this needs to be improved, and it was better in the past and needs to be even better in the future? Like lots of our society is based on that and is rewarded by that. But do you want to go through life like that? I don't know. I've decided I don't. At least not to 90%, and the other 3 characters have to suffice with 10%. No, 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 no. I want it to be in a more healthy, more sustainable, more shared balance with others. So, back to the happy kid, back to character 3. It's the creative one, the playful one, the I love this moment, I love this moment, next moment, I love this moment, I love this moment. It's always in the now, always in the now. As characters 1 and 2 are always in the past or in the future or both at the same time, your character 3 and character 4, they're in the now. Now, 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 now. And you could actually say they're in eternity, because every now, 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 now creates eternity. And Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor actually says that it's the energy of the universe. The universe is always in the now. And it's something you might want to contemplate on. I thought that thought was very beautiful. And I haven't finished contemplating on that thought. So character 3 was introduced. Character 1 was Robert, the structured, organized, left thinking. Character 2, the left emotional, I'm anxious, I'm fear, it's all different, I don't know what's happening. It's called Rose. And my character 3, it's called Cheetah. Cheetah. It's not because it's a cheating character. That's not the reason. Somehow I had the image of a cheetah as this playful, monkey-ish cartoon character, and then I actually Googled cheetah and I found it's a wild cat. Like, it's nothing monkeyish about that. So now I have a mixed image of a cartoonish monkey actual cheetah thing, and they're just hopping through the savannah and through the jungle, and they're playful, and they're, I don't know why that came to my mind. My character 3 is called Cheetah. Cheetah. So I have Robert, Rose, and Cheetah. Now, the right thinking part, as I mentioned in the previous video, it is the thinking part, and yet it couldn't be more different from the left thinking part, which is the right thinking. Dr. Jill says that actually is love. Love. Love, the consciousness of the universe, love. We're here to love another. We're here to love another. I find that's wow. I still haven't wrapped my head around that. But the conscious, the thinking part of our right brain is love. And how is the right brain thinking part expressed? It's looking, again, it's in the present. It's in the now. It's looking at life holistically. It's being conscious. It's loving. It's wow. That color, that leaf, that little bug, that other human being. Beautiful that we're alive. That we're alive. That we've made it out of those. It's impossible that we're alive, and here we are alive. It's awe and respect and connectedness to everything, to literally everything. You might have experience with Qigong or a Tai Chi practice. I'm recalling if that's also the case in yoga practice. Don't recall it from yoga practice, but I do recall it from Qigong and Tai Chi, where there's part of exercises where it said sensing the ends and the ending of our body. So really sensing, where do we end? Because some exercises in Qigong and Tai Chi, they're so expansive that we let our energy be as wide, be as grand, be as one with the space around us. With the space around us in the room, with the space around us in this city, with the space around us on this planet, and even let the energy reach the universe. So those are some exercises in Qigong which do that. And then there's exercises to bring the energy back and feel, sense the endings of your body. Because if you would look at ourselves as if we were a color painting or a water painting, it's how does it know that the paint for this shirt is not the flesh of my body? Or vice versa. Why is there a difference? It's in the water painting, it's all one. Actually, this flesh of my body in the watercolor painting doesn't exist because it morphed into a sleeve. So this oneness, does it even matter if this is moving because underneath there's flesh and blood and muscles and nerves and cells? Or is it just as nice if it moves because it's a shirt? It's a bit complex, maybe. It might be a little like, wow, what? But this is our right thinking brain. We're one with one another. And it's just a magical thing that this blob of cells, these 50 trillion cells, that they are this organism, and yet they're connected breath by breath with all the other organisms. Like every breath which is entering our body, every breath which we are sharing, exhaling, will be breathed in by other people. And each breath we are breathing has been breathed in by a million other people. So we're sharing all these atoms, we're sharing all that energy. We are that one. So character 4 is compassion, oneness, love, presence. That's the character 4. It can be small, it can be gigantic. It is connected. It is connected, and it's connected to something grander than us, something beyond the limitations of our body. And that, my character 4, I called her Hannah. Hannah, because I am passionate, curious, interested, and in love with South Korea and South Korean culture, past, present, and future. And I've studied a little bit of Korean. And in Korean, there are 2 number systems. There's the Chinese imported number system for counting, and there's the traditional Korean number system. It would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 had different names. So you could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you could count with different names. So there's 2 separate number systems. And in the traditional Korean number system, the number 1 is called Hana. And then there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Hana, tul, set, net, tasot. Hana, tul, set, net, tasot. And if you're a BTS fan or K-pop fan or K-drama fan, and you might have watched this video or another, and you often see them, Hana, we are blah, 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 and then they share who they are and that they're artists. And it's often this Hana, Hana, or when they take a picture, Hana, or just Na. But the origin is Hana, tul, set. It's the original Korean numbering system. And that's why I named my character 4 Hana, because it's one. It starts with one. It's like this one cell, this one universe, and out of that grow all the other cells, all the other parts of life, all the elements, all the 50 trillion cells of me and of you and of you and of you and of all of us. So this Hana was the beginning, and through her, everything else grows. And through that, I am connected to all the other people's Hanas. So that's why I'm calling her Hana, this oneness within me, which I'm sharing with all of you. So my 4 characters, let's look at them again. Left thinking is called Robert, structure, analytical, process, judgment, getting things done, combing my hair. Anyway, this is Robert. Really, really important. Without Robert, we're missing a lot of in life. He has language. He looks into the past. He looks into the future. He's not in the moment. Second character, it's called Rose. She's called Rose. She, again, also looks into the past. She looks into the future. She's not looking into the present. And she is anxious. She has fear. She's comparing. What do I know? What's unfamiliar? I don't feel comfortable. And she's super important because she keeps us safe. She's ringing the alarm bell when things might be dangerous. Sometimes she doesn't need to ring the alarm bell, but we can tell her then, thank you. Thank you for ringing the alarm bell. We're safe. You're safe. But it was good that you've mentioned it because it could have been dangerous. Yes, lovely. So we need her. It's not that she's crazy and let's shut her out. No, we need her too. Character 3, right emotional brain, is my cheetah. My cheetah. It's this playful jumping thing. It's just creative and this idea and this idea and this is gorgeous. And it's always in the now. It's always in the now. And it's just admiring life. Oh, this bug. Oh, that color. It's always in the now. It's playful. It's happy. It's your happiest kid possible. If it's too much of that, very dangerous because you couldn't get through life with just that. I mean, there's a reason why we're developing. There's a reason why we become adults. If we're only and always this cheetah little kid, no, we need a little bit of the other characters to get us into a structure, to not only be in the present and forget that we never eaten or that we didn't go to sleep or that we... So it's good to have cheetah, to have your character 3, but also to have it in a balance. Just like you wouldn't let your kid run wild into the world. Just don't let your cheetah, your character 3, run wild into the world. It does love, a little love and care and limitations. Character 4, mine is called Hana, the oneness, the Korean word for one. So I have Robert, Rose, Cheetah, and Hana. And now let's look at the brain huddle, what Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor mentions. Having a name for each of these characters, having identified how do they show, how do they speak to you, who's grabbing the microphone most often, who's the loudest, how do the ones which do not have language, how do they express what they need? Do they actually ever get to speak? Do you allow them to speak? For example, your character 3, your playful kid, do you allow her or him to speak up? Or do you think, no, behave. We're adults now. We're in perimenopause. We're post-menopause. No. This character, quiet. I told you to shut up. So what are you doing to your characters? Do you let them live? Do you actually know that you have them? How do you feel now knowing that you have them? Me, for my part, I was very surprised because I was not aware I had those. And I was not aware that there were characters which were judging each other, which were fighting for the microphone. And especially since I was trained for many years to look at optimization, to look at processes, to really be in the Robert character, I devalued my other characters. I devalued Rose, like, you're too sensitive, we're beyond this. I really devalued her and did not appreciate her. Cheetah, I let him out every now and then, or her. Cheetah for me is kind of genderless, or all genders, more like that. It's all genders. Cheetah, my cheetah is all genders. I loved her, but I felt a little bit guilty, like I'm 46, I'm still not grown up. Oh, I felt a little guilty having her, and I felt a little sad not letting her. So there was an ambivalent attitude I had toward her, but definitely I did not really value her. It was either or, but never good enough or right. And my Hannah I perceived very, very limited. I perceived my Hannah when I was thinking about my passed away mom. Like, she passed away 26 years ago. And I still feel a connection toward my mom. So that connection, in a way, was my experience of Hannah, that there's more than what happened. Even though my mom has passed away, has died, I feel her presence now, and I am connected to her. And when I took a walk in the forest or was paddling on a lake, whenever I was in nature, I had sensations of Hannah, but I always associated those to having these uniquely beautiful experiences in nature or with other people, let's say during voice training with Kristen Linklater and her pilgrims in Orkney, and it was just gorgeous. There I really experienced Hannah, but I did not imagine that Hannah is present beyond those unique experience, beyond those unique locations, but that Hannah, that she's present each moment, all the time, everywhere. So those 4 characters and the understanding of them, that it's not just imagination. I mean, it's nice to have the imagination and fantasy, but knowing that it's actual brain physics, brain biology, and brain chemistry, that revolutionized my conception. And now I'm calling brain huddles. Like last night, I had this sugar drop, whatever. I woke up at, I think it was 3 o'clock. I did not look at the clock, but it was this time window where I sometimes wake up, and I thought, and I called a brain huddle right away, because I noticed, oh, this is so bad. I noticed my Rose grabbing the microphone and being in anxiety and panic mode. And then I called the brain huddle, and I let each of the other 4 characters speak. And first was Robert. And Robert said, hey, you're okay. This is a natural thing. You've changed your diet. You might have glucose fluctuations for a time being. You know that even though you're waking up now, usually within an hour, you can go back to sleep, and oftentimes even sleep an hour longer. So everything's okay. You do not need to be afraid. You do not need to worry about your brain. We've got this. You've got this. You're okay. My cheetah was, I'm sleeping. I'm sleepy. Go back to sleep, Rose. My cheetah was so relaxed and calm. It almost like Cheetah was putting a sleep blanket on top of Rose and cuddling her and tugging her into bed. And Hannah spoke and said, she didn't really say anything. She just embraced all of those 4, gave them a warm hug, and this sensation, like Robert said, you're safe, we've got this. Hannah did that with her hug. And then I checked in with Rose, and a few moments later, and then I was kind of calm and back to falling asleep. And then Hannah grabbed the mic again. So again, I called a brain huddle, and I don't know how long it took, but it was so much faster that I fell back asleep than I usually did. Oftentimes I'm lying awake for an hour or even 2 hours. Sometimes I watch a little bit of a K-drama to fall back asleep. Sometimes I go out of bed and do a very calm shoulder stand of yoga practice, because the shoulder stands are supposed to help with falling asleep. So sometimes I do that, and I found that it can be helpful when I do it really slow and calm. If I'm like exercising and doing a yoga stand, that's something different. But a very calm yoga shoulder stand can help. But still, it was like an hour window or 2 hour window where I wasn't sleeping, and I didn't like this. And this did not happen last night. So this brain huddle, even though I was awake, even though I was consciously activating all 4 parts of my brain, it was very calm, and I fell back asleep easily, quickly. I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, maybe less even. It was super, super easy. And now having these 4 characters, having names for them, having characteristics for my 4 characters really helps to put them in the brain huddle very often. And even just, what should I have for breakfast? Do I want this dessert? Should I go for a walk? Having a brain huddle again and again and again and again and again and again and again is so beneficial, not just for regulating your actions, thoughts, and feelings, which is helpful. I find really helpful, especially through perimenopausal transitions, because my usual habits on how to guide myself through the day did not really work anymore. Like, be more relaxed, yeah. But how? How? When my cortisol is spiking, when my insulin is crazy, when... So lots of biochemistry is messing up with our regular regulators in the system. But I found this brain huddle has massive power, and possibly you find it beneficial as well. Yeah, neuroplasticity, even in older age. It's lovely. I think it's a wonderful concept, and I'm so grateful for having found that. And I'm very grateful that it actually is connected to actual organic truth. I mean, I think I would have liked that concept even if it was just imagination, even if it was just a mind visualization journey. It could have been beneficial, but now my Robert part, now that I know that he's called Robert, he wouldn't have trusted it. He would have said, yeah, do that exercise again if you think it's going to help you. But he wouldn't have been in. So that's already 25% of my brain, which would have been left out. So having all of them together, knowing that it is real, not just imagination, even though imagination is wonderful, but for this case, I find it's very helpful, at least to me, possibly also to you, that it is an organic, chemical, biological, physical thing with which your thoughts, your brain huddles, and practiced brain huddles, not just for the emergency situations, rather for tiny, benign, everyday things, so that the connection, the speedboats, are ready when they are needed in an emergency situation. How this can help us regain neuroplasticity, regain neural stability in times where our brains are highly infected. Yeah, maybe not infected, but highly inflamed and affected by lots of the hormonal systematic changes which are happening as we're progressing through perimenopause and beyond. Whew. If you found this interesting, please share your characters. Share how you identify them, how they speak to you, how you can soothe them, how you call the brain huddles, what's their names. Please share in the comments, share with your friends, share with your loved ones, and I'm looking forward to see you next time.